friends, it's T and I'm back with another video. We're doing a video on Leonidas. Yes, Alpha Destiny. He says the basics always build muscle. The basics will always build muscle. You want to know what the basics? You want to know the basics of building muscle? Your local buffet. There's the basics. Not the gym, bro. Gyms don't build muscles.
The basics are here to stay, and there's no influencer who's ever going to come in and change that, because you're not.
And he's lifting this heavy weight. Why? Because he thinks lifting heavy builds a muscle. He's an idiot. Lifting heavy weights do not build muscles. They break your body down. Look, when they say protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown to see the mass on the myofibrillar, that's also a window for protein breakdown as well when you come in the gym. So you're breaking down proteins. Yeah. You're actually breaking down proteins, okay?
I both know that the foundational barbell and dumbbell exercises work. No matter your experience level, from the complete beginner to super elite who's been training for decades, you can always make gains with the most basic of basic exercises. They are the basics for a reason.
See, you could always make gains with the basics of basic exercises. This is the whole industry. They drive on this. They're trying to convince you that weights are gonna build you a muscle. That's why he's so tiny, because lifting like this, these are adaptations. Your body gives you an adaptation in androgen receptor strength, okay? It's chemical strength to lift that heavy weight, because he keeps coming in frequently, okay? But then your body is protected from muscle damage through something called RBE. To get over RBE, you have to be unaccustomed to doing those exercises, that's for sure. And you have to be repaired and remodeled. That's definitely a given. But to get over MND size when it reaches a ceiling limit, you need to be in an anabolic growth state. And then once you're in an anabolic growth state and it does reach a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process, then you'll need to injure those muscle fibers so that they could donate their nuclei. But if you don't do those sequence of events, you'll never build any myofibrillar growth, okay?
And there's a reason why so many guys are now talking trash against them. It is for financial gain, not to improve your life, not to empower you as a lifter.
Think about it. If I focus my training on eating 6 hours a day, think about that. If I eat 6 hours a day, I'm in serious eating in those 6 hours every single day. Do you not think that I'm not going to build a massive, big, massive, strong, muscular body by doing that and then coming into the gym and lifting? Huh? Think about that. Think about that carefully. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown in order to see that mass on that myofibrillar.
Because they know the truth. In fact, the biggest criticizers of exercises like the barbell bench press, the barbell squat.
Like I said, when they tell you protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown, that's to see the mass. They didn't talk about the density. What makes muscles dense are muscle cells. They make them dense. But in order to get more of those muscle cells, you have to force that MND size domain. How do you force it? Anabolic growth state.
Bent over rowing, any overhead press, that which quite literally built the best physiques of the last 100 years.
You see,
it
will not donate its nuclei to that domain unless it reaches hypertrophic process. Let's say you do, after the first time your newbie gains, you reach that ceiling limit, all right, an MND size limit. Progenitors beyond where it could donate any extra nuclei at that domain to further any more growth. Okay. So what do? We injure the muscle fiber. Now that we've pushed that domain, we reached the ceiling limit, we can come in and cause these injuries one more time. But we need to, those cells, they need to reach an MND size limit before that could happen again. That's the problem. But but you could get a donation of these cells, but if they don't reach a ceiling limit the second time, then the next time you come in and try to injure these muscle fibers, well, guess what's going to happen? The progenitor's not going to donate its nuclei, because why would it? It's not a necessity. You have to give it a necessity why it should donate its nuclei, because that domain had ended in a ceiling limit. That's why. So you have to, every time you get a donation of these cells, you need to make them reach a ceiling limit. How do you do that? Anabolic growth state. So if you think that lifting this 100-pound dumbbells is going to exceed that domain, the MND size domain, you have to be retarded.
Bronze era till now, including the best natties or even enhanced guys from the golden era. Some of the most desirable physiques that we've ever seen.
That's why I say it's very difficult to build myofibular growth. It's almost impossible for you people to do it. It's a lot of work. I told you, people always ask me, and I gotta tell you one more time, how did you build your body back then in the past? It's really easy. I had money. Money built my body, okay? Money built. If you don't have money, then don't waste your time. You cannot build your body, okay? Well, no gym weights are gonna build your body.
We're built.
Okay, keep eating those carbohydrates and keep imagining that growth that you got, that puffiness you got, is muscle, even though it's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's why there's two types of hypertrophy. One is sarcoplasmic, artificial. The other one is myofibular. It's real.
With the basics. Now, all that is now trash because in the last 5 years, we've come up with novel exercises that supposedly deliver better results.
Yes, novel exercises that supposedly deliver these more results. Yes.
Results, yet even now we still don't see guys building their physiques from day one till now with those, and even if they are correct.
You want to know why? Because we don't know why those guys are not building that with their physiques with that shit, because that shit doesn't build physiques. What builds physiques is anabolic growth state. That's what builds it.
In terms of their
and the progenitor donating its nuclei to further that domain
analysis, we don't know the extent to which it is better, and I find it laughable that the majority of them built their physiques with the basics, and then they have the balls say, oh, well, I could have done.
They built their physiques with the basics? No. This breaks your body down. That doesn't build your body. That breaks it down. Like I said, unless you're eating, of course, you're chasing the pump, like, carbohydrates. That'll build you these artificial muscles for sure.
Without it, sure, you might have, but maybe be in the same fucking place. Or maybe they've been training a different way for the last 5 years.
Yeah, of course. Leave the gym in 10 days, that phony chemical strength goes away, and my gains are going. I'm on vacation, and my gains are going in 2-3 weeks. Yeah, what gains are those? Sarcoplasmic gains, bro. Real muscle doesn't just go away like I went on vacation and I'm losing my gains. You're not losing your gains ever if you build myofibular growth. It never goes away. What are you talking about? And your physical strength, getting more physical strength through myofibulars, that doesn't go away either.
They've obviously put on muscle, and they attribute it to this exercise selection rather than the consistency.
What? They attributed to these exercises they gained muscle? Man, they gained sarcoplasmic, bro. What are you talking about?
Factor with the effort and the motivation to push more, because I understand exercise ADHD more than anybody else. That's why I love the conjugate system so much. But
he likes the fake conjugate system. He doesn't even understand what conjugate system is all about. It's about performance. So performance, this is your chronic lifter, so your endurance athlete. So it's ATP, it's energy source, it's carbohydrate. You're loading it in the muscle. Yeah, man, this is it's based on chronic lifting, bro, plus chemical strength. So that's adaptation and chemical strength.
Is the fact that I'm changing from a close grip bench press with chains to a Larson press to a deficit push-up to a camber bar bench to a...
Like this guy is a typical, like I'm serious, like this guy is your typical lifting gym slave. Like he's a real gym lifting slave, bro. It's a fitness slave. Fuck it. He's a trainer, right, in a gym or some shit.
Is that what's really making me in the long term? No, these are small nuances. It can change your resistance profiles. It can unlock more general strength, minimize overuse injuries. But at the end of the day, all these things are just ways of organizing our training such that we can fall.
He never got stronger. Let's see him wrestle, what's his name? Brian the strongman. Let's see him tackle him. He's like over 460 or something. Let's see him. Crazy, man. You're crazy.
Through. It doesn't really matter what exercise you do if you are progressing and you're choosing what is relevant for your current needs. That which addresses your muscular weaknesses. And
nobody on this channel is progressing. Nothing. The only thing you're getting good at is lifting weights in the gym. That's all. You're not progressing. You've never built any myofibular growth. There's nothing there. You're wasting your time. Gym slave.
All reach a point where the gains slow down so much that by you adding more muscle, yes,
the gains slowed down already. It reached the ceiling limit during hypertrophic process when you were untrained. You call them newbie gains. I like when he says, oh, we're going to get more muscle. What kind of muscle? Did you say?
Can attribute that to little changes in exercise selection, but the biggest thing is just sticking through to it long enough. And that's the accumulation of years and years of hard training. Because even in myself, I've been making videos since...
Nobody has ever gained a muscle lifting a weight. They gain muscle by eating. That's how they gain muscle.
2013. And I was already buff by 2017. I would say I built the majority of my muscle by that time frame. And from my physique back then till now, I don't know how much muscle I put on, but I would say it's a 15 to 20% increase.
I'd say it's newbie gains. It's very small amount, and it's sarcoplasmic. He's got some newbie gains that he gained, maybe 4 or 5 pounds at the most, and the rest it's sarcoplasmic, bro. It's tiny. It's a very small amount he has here. It looks ordinary.
And the most important reason why I did manage to make...
Look at him in this extra small shirt from Old Navy. Look how tiny he is in that shirt.
...more gains from then till now.
Yeah, more gains. Look at the gains. What gains does he have here? He's a tiny guy, tiny
Now,
boy.
it's hard to imagine this, but 2017...
Looks ordinary. His arms, his forearms look ordinary. His neck. Everything looks very ordinary.
...was 7 fucking years ago. Well, logically speaking, it was the consistency factor that got me here, because whether I gained an extra half pound of muscle a year from really optimizing everything or a full pound, it's so insignificant that doesn't fucking
He gained nothing, man, in all those years. He still weighs the same. He's tiny.
matter, is what I'm trying to tell you. And the exercise selection might account for 5 to 10% more gains. Even Dr. Milo Wolf admitted this in our debate.
5% more gains. Gaining all these gains. Let me tell you something. Body does the talking, okay? On my fucking channel, body does the talking. I don't need to speak. I just show myself. My body does the speaking, does the talking for me. I'm speaking, but my body does the talking. Get it? This fucker, he's speaking, but guess what? Body's not doing the talking here. It's all bullshit. His body's tiny. You know what it's saying? It's saying there's no gains. That's what it says. When I look at him, it says 0 gains. Why the fuck would I follow him?
Discussing length and partials, for example, compared to full range of motion. So nuances allow you to push.
Yeah, length and partials, full range, and all that. You think that's gonna grow a muscle? That fucking destroys your muscle. What are you talking about?
For more progress, but it doesn't break you. Okay? What breaks you is if you start settling, you go into maintenance mode. You don't have higher goals for yourself. You stop getting stronger.
Maintenance mode? There's no such thing as maintenance mode. You just eat protein. That's all. That's how myofibrillar growth is maintained. Protein.
You just decide to go on chill mode, you know, and that's what a lot of influencers did. They chose content creation above themselves, and I understand that. I'm gonna similar boat myself this year. I want to make this year about you. But all this to say, if I gained over 10 pounds of muscle in the last 7 years, is it because I tweaked
10 pounds of muscle in 7 years? What the fuck? I just told all you, man, that window of success is very short. You can build this much muscle and get your body as big as you want within a couple of months. It's within a short window. It's a short window. You have to be in an anabolic growth state to build your body and create these injuries.
certain exercises? Is it because I started doing Larson pressing versus regular bench? Or that I started doing more machines at the gym? Or is the fact that I managed to accumulate more hard years under my training belt?
What the fuck is he talking about? I did Larson bench and this and hard training for years and all that. Gained him this 10 pounds of what? 10 pounds of what? He gained 10 pounds of nothing. Nothing. He's lying. It's all garbage. Body does the talking. Body says 0 there, okay?
You fucking tell me. And that's exactly what I see in some of the guys who are now doing a lot of these optimal exercises, which we don't even know if they're fucking optimal because
exercises just make you better at doing these fucking things. They don't build exercises, do not build bodies. What part does this maniac manlet not understand?
there's no randomized controlled trials, and some of these inferences turn out to be incorrect. Like, remember 2 years ago, everyone was talking trash about wide grip pull-ups in the frontal?
What about wide grip pull-ups? They're great for stretching, causing tears in the scapula and shit. Okay. And what about it after that? What do you do with it after that? After you damage the fuck out of your body?
Plane or lat pull downs with the super wide implement, saying that it's an upper back pull down. Well, look how fast those guys change your mind.
At some point, it'll become thermogenic. Okay. That's all it will become. It's nothing else than that. Because it's adapted. It's not going to injure anymore. What are you talking about?
When they started realizing the fact the lats have good leverage at that 90-degree mark, it's that final shoulder adduction where you're getting the optimal squeeze. And it's hilarious.
I never see how he builds his muscle. He keeps telling me, he keeps showing me these weights, but I've never seen how he builds his muscle. Where the fuck does he go to build his muscle? What restaurant? What buffet? What does he eat? Like, where the fuck does he go? What does he do?
Because I too was doing the super wides for upper back. And what I noticed is I just kept getting wider and wider. And then it got me realizing.
You weren't getting wider. You fucking pulled your scapula apart. What are you talking about? You're not getting wider and wider. He's a liar. Look how small he is.
And that all the old school guys already figured this shit out.
He's not getting any wider. He's not getting wide from doing that. It's a lie.
And that what exercise science is truly doing right now is confirming the experiences of the OGs.
What? Science is confirming? What are you talking about?
Because somehow they don't appear to be wrong. Every time I listen to a Silver Era guy, they're right. It blows my mind every fucking time that I listen to anything that they have to say, even the most trivial shit.
Science tells you protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown in order for muscle to grow. What does that mean? That means you need to be in an anabolic growth state so that you shut off this breakdown. You shut off the catabolic hormone, you convert the catabolic hormone to an androgen so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor. Duh.
I get gains, my physique improves, I get stronger.
I get gains, my physique improves. You're not getting any gains, you're not getting anything. I could show you a million people online right now that are lifting heavy weights constantly. I don't even lift at all. And I just look big and massive. But I could show you their channel. It keeps popping up on my feed. 165, 205, 405, benching this, that, doing that. All these heavy weights they're lifting constantly in the gym. And guess what? Their body has not changed at all whatsoever. I can show you a million channels right now that I am subscribed to. And there's zero change. There's zero change there. What are you talking about?
I get this a lot.
Even in your physique, there's zero change there. You took some drug to get a little bit muscular, but there's zero change there.
And guys say, oh, it's because of genetics. No, I look like a Silver Era bodybuilder.
Genetics? Silver era bodybuilder? What are you talking about? They're on drugs.
Because
it's cosmetic. It's artificial. It's temporary.
I use those exercises. I built my physique.
They use those. I use those exercises, and I built my physique like a silver era bodybuilder. Well, fuck you talking about? He injected a drug in his ass, bro. Are you doing that? Unless you're doing that, you're not going to look like that. And it's temporary as long as you keep taking the drug, like marijuana.
Of the fucking basics. And just like how these optimal guys talk about
the fucking basics, bro. All of you fucking minions out there, you're gonna get fucking massive by doing the basics. In 10 years, you may gain 10 pounds, as much as 10 pounds. That's what Leonidas is telling you, Alex. You're fitness slave, yes.
Biasing. Well, fuck me. Old school exercises bias in old school physique. Heck, even the 90s.
See? Bias physique. Your old school exercise is going to get you that old school physique. The old school drug physique, yeah.
Bodybuilders who were enhanced look different from the 2020 beyond bodybuilders.
Oh, the past bodybuilders on steroids look different than the 2022 bodybuilders and beyond. No, they look the same. They look the same. Yeah.
You see it, I see it. It's not just about drugs. Training style.
It is about drugs, okay? If you train like they do and you don't take their drugs, then you're not going to build those artificial sarcoplasmic muscles. But unless, of course, you eat shitloads of potatoes, you could build them, sure. But you won't get that muscular look. You'll be washed out a bit.
Can build a custom physique. That said, I want to go on a rant about this particular topic.
Nah, you're not going to build a custom physique, but you could build a fake one cosmetically if you take these drugs.
But I will mention this. For natural bodybuilding specifically, in the last 10 years, the top guys who...
Natural bodybuilding? There's no such thing. There's just bodybuilding. The two modalities, the myofibrillar sarcoplasmic, it depends on what it's geared. What is your training geared towards? What are you trying to accomplish? You want myofibrillar growth or you want sarcoplasmic growth? So those are two different modalities in training.
Train in a more primitive way, look essentially equivalent to the top guys of today who are doing everything to optimize every little factor. The net result is indistinguishable. From an FFMI standpoint, what they're...
I could tell you that the majority of people that lift in the gym, They're chasing sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's where they are. Now, in order for that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy to grow, it's just like myofibrillar growth. Glycogen synthesis needs to exceed that glycogen breakdown in the muscle. That's how you further that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy domain. See what I mean? It doesn't have a ceiling limit, so you can eat as much potatoes as you want day in and day out and go pump in the gym, get the pump, and you'll get massive. I guarantee, I swear to God, you'll get massive.
Being on stage, how they look like. If anything, differences can be attributed to how they film themselves on stage, the different cameras, maybe the lighting setup, but the physiques have not really improved that much. It's the truth. The only thing that I would say has gotten better is the information that we spread around for average lifters, not already the top guys who know what works for them. So you guys, you who is watching...
I love this, like he's rowing really heavy, and what's the purpose if he reached an MND size limit?
This video, you benefit from my experiences and those of the other noble natties who...
Noble natties, look how small his back is, man. He's tiny. He's a little tiny boy.
...made all the mistakes for you. But guess what? The information we give, 9 out of 10 times...
You made all the mistakes for us? You keep making the same mistakes. What the fuck are you talking about?
...is experience-based. It's not because we read some study. Again, the study just confirms what we...
Man, this guy's mentally sick. He's mentally ill. You're looking at a mentally ill person.
...already knew. It sheds light, and I think science is very important in that regard.
This is mental illness. Look at him lifting this weight. What is that? I don't even know how much that is. 150? He's like trying to row 150 here. Yeah, 150. This is mental illness, man.
To separate the fact from the fiction. And of course, there are some things that will be incorrect. And so I'm all for trying to find additional answers, criticizing, trying out all kinds of different experiments for...
Heavy weights don't build muscles. They can damage muscle fibers if they're in a specific state to get damaged.
Noobs and elites, I want to see it all. And I am subscribed to various newsletters. I do pay for these services. But it's not what's changing my game. Just some things here and there. We have some breakthroughs, but at the end of the day, it's me trying shit out. And remember, even with all these so-called advancements, most of the top pros are still not bigger than the silver era grades of back then. That's very telling, considering they apparently lacked equipment and knowledge, even though all they did was experience-based through decades of brutal effort.
You take the blue pill, you continue procrastinating, and feel like some...
Decades of brutal...
So they knew exactly what worked for them.
Without drugs. They knew exactly what worked for them without drugs. Want to know what will work? You ever see a fat person? Why do they look so fat and so big?